We are live from beautiful downtown Jefferson, Ohio at the beautiful Falcon Gymnasium. And Sammy's phone, come on!
That's right, folks. We are here with the pride of Ashtabula County, the one remaining team still competitive in this playoff, this playoff tournament. We are with, I guess you can call them, the best football players in the county right now, folks.
Yep, absolutely. The Jefferson Falcons doing some work last week, getting ready to go to war again this week here.
Yeah, they go out last year and the revenge tour as the Girard Indians got them in the season, but the Falcons got them when it counted.
Yeah,
and they get to play again as we get ready for a very, very tough Canton South team.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We travel down there Saturday, 7 o'clock kickoff. We will be covering that live on ysnlive.com. It's going to be a great game. A lot of fun to travel with a local team, especially with us from being from Ashtabula.
Yeah, going to get to head down to the South Range Raiders Stadium, and what a beautiful stadium that is going to be for the neutral site. It's been a great year for Ashtabula County football as a whole. I think the county has showed well with a lot of teams playing, week 11, week 12, and as you can see, week 13.
Yeah. It's fun to watch it go into week 13 and these teams do what they have to do and continue, one game away from regional. So
make sure you guys get out there. As with all OHSAA playoff games, tickets are going to have to be purchased, digitally before you get there. I don't think there's going to be any, changing hands of money. And if you can't make it, make sure you go on to ysnlive.com as it's going to be broadcast by yours truly. And it's truly going to be the best value that you're going to get, as $10 is going to get you all the best regional games right here on YSN.
So stay tuned with us tonight. A lot of interviews coming up. Very excited about it. Very excited about it. Yeah, interviews. I got a picture here that I can't wait to show the general public, everyone that's watching. It's going to be a lot of fun this evening. I can't wait to get the process rolling, man.
Yeah, and as we talk about the process, we got to bring on somebody that started the process right here in Jefferson. We are going to welcome head coach Brandon Hanna to the show.
Welcome on, Coach.
Thank you. Hey, thank you for being here tonight, fellas.
Yeah, it's an absolute privilege. It's an honor. This has been a great year, but a year that's not done. You guys go out. Let's talk a little bit about this Girard team and how it was to go out there. And we talked about how hard it was to beat a team twice. How hard is it to get ready for a team that beat you already?
Man, first thing I want to do is congratulate and shout out Geneva, Conneaut, PV, Lakeside, and Edgewood, for making it to the playoffs, and way to represent the county, fellas. That's big. Anytime the county, makes it to the postseason, it just looks great for us all. So congratulations to those guys. But no, man, listen, we were on the other end of that stick, week 11. Poland gave us everything they had. They came in with a whole new game plan. They kind of knew who we were. And, man, we survived it. We made it out. That was tough. So shout out those guys. But, no, listen, Girard, they came with the same plan, thankfully, right? But no, Pat Pearson does a great job with those guys. They have a great offense over there. They keep you on your toes all game, no matter if you're there or here. It doesn't matter where you're at. That's a great ball club. They're in the postseason consistently. And, that was a great ball game, and we just went out with a fire, with a passion, with some grit. We probably played one of our better games in the last, several weeks. So I just couldn't be more proud of these guys. The game plan, you just go back to week 4, right? They're going to do what worked, we were hoping. And we were going to execute on things that we weren't able to execute on early in the season. And, our guys just played a heck of a game up front, starting in the trenches. Those guys, we not dominated, but we pretty much ruled the trenches early. We got pressure on the quarterback immediately. And our secondary played the game that we needed them to play. It was just a great all-around team win for us.
Yeah, you know what I want to ask you, Coach Hanna, is who's your cardiologist? Because you guys go into the fourth quarter and keep it right and tight every game. What has changed this year? Because that's an accomplishment in itself. A lot of teams can get to that fourth quarter, but the great teams are the ones who can continue it and make those wins.
Listen, now I know why Urban, go on a hiatus and disappear for a little while. It definitely gets that heart rate up, and things get crazy in those moments. But man, I just keep going back to the Poland, the fourth down call, right, to go for it on fourth down. It was funny. I shared something on Facebook earlier, and I shared it with Hitchcock, and it was a Harbaugh how do you say his name?
Harbaugh.
Telling
Michigan.
Yeah. Well, Lamar Jackson, right?
There you go.
And he's telling him, he's saying, Lamar, do you want to go for it? And he said it again. Lamar, do you want to go for it? And, it just reminded me of week 11. I'm asking Grant. He's like, yeah, let's go. And it's like the season's on the line. But you know what? That's a kid that's been in the weight room all year long, right? And that's an offensive line that's been in the weight room all year long. This is a team that's been battle tested. And what a turnaround, right, for our program in that big moment, and then going for two. But then, last week, big fourth down stops for us. Wade Woodworth, Preston Reams. I mean, these guys are relentless getting to the football for us. Mason Polaski, Reed Egger. It's just, there's so many guys to name, right? It's just, we are playing great family football right now. And I just, I couldn't be more proud. I couldn't be more excited. But I'll tell you what, these fourth quarter games are, it's hard to sleep at night, right? My eyes are a little droopy. My heart rate's up. I haven't even touched the weight. I can't even, I don't even have the energy to do so because of what these guys back here are putting me through. But such amazing moments, such amazing memories, being made every fourth quarter, every Friday night, now headed into a Saturday night for us.
Yeah, I know you guys are definitely responsible for a couple grays in this beard. But you guys always seem to get it done. Coach, we talked about getting here, but I want to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up on Saturday. When we go against this very talented Canton South team, what are we going to be looking at when these guys play ball?
Very explosive offense. I'm not sure who their coach is, but they seem to do a phenomenal job, moving the ball in big-time moments. We have one of their week 4 or 5 games. And, those guys were down 21-0 and found a way to fight back and, took the lead, went on a 28-0 run. Ended up losing that one in overtime. But we're talking about a quarterback who almost had 700 yards last week in week 12 and 6 or 7 touchdowns. Like, that's insane, right? So you don't see that very often. But I tell you what, man, I'll take our 4 over their 19. And I don't mean that in a cocky way. I just mean that in a way to where when I say we started this thing December 1st at 6 a.m., that's a kid who grinded, pushing me in my max outs, right? So I had to strip down and get ready for some deadlift because this kid's pushing me. And it's a group thing, right? All these guys have been in there. So listen, we're excited, for the battle. We're excited to play somebody who's, not very familiar to us. And our kids have a different level of confidence right now. And, what more could you ask for from a group? We're talking about we're in the low 20s right now, in Division IV football. Every team that we've played, from county team to anywhere on the road that we've went to an NE8 team, we've had the least amount of kids by 10, 15, 20 kids plus standing on the sideline. And our kids have found a way to fight, to show grit, to show passion. And just to, again, fight for the brother next to him for 4 quarters of football. So, again, I really don't care who it is. Again, we give credit to North Canton.
Yeah.
Great football team on film. But, listen, to me, this is the best team that we're going to see on the schedule, in my eyes. And we all believe that.
Yeah, I know. Listen, everybody likes the story of the little engine that could until you get on the track. And you guys are definitely the little engine that could, did, and will continue to do. Coach, I want to thank you so much for coming on to talk to the show. Good luck this week as we're going to meet you guys down there in Canton.
No, absolutely. Listen, thank you guys for all the support. I do want to shout out our administration, man. It's been a fun ride. Mr. Losey's done a phenomenal job setting things up for us, taking care of a lot of behind-the-scenes things for us. Mr. Montenero's done a great job of just supporting. It's great to have Mr. Fairfield, the new principal, Mr. Hubert, having those guys support, having them standing in the end zone everywhere we've been, no matter the mileage. It's just an amazing feeling as a coach to know that, you have support from the top. And, we want to shout out the community of Jefferson. They've really came out for us these last 2 weeks. And, we're hoping that they'll show up week 13 for the first time ever, right? It's an exciting moment. And, we're hoping that they'll show up and show out for us. And, hopefully we can make this community proud one more time. So thank you guys again for all the support this entire season too. We appreciate it.
You guys have a mantra out here. BTC. What's BTC mean before you get out?
Be the change. It's real simple. It's real basic. But you spread that thing out wherever you need it, right? Be the change in the community. Be the change in the school, in the hallway. Be the change in your family, right? And a big thing for us is be the change in this program, and that's exactly what these kids, these young men, have been and grown up to become. These last 2 years for us. So, we hashtag that thing, we walk that thing, we talk that thing, so I'm just proud of these guys for being the change. Honestly, they're the change that I needed in my life too. So I love these guys, and, and I'm grateful for them.
Man, it doesn't get any better than that. Coach, thank you so much. And we'll see you Saturday, baby.
Thank you, brother.
Congratulations, Coach. That's head coach Jefferson Falcons, Brandon Hannon. What a great interview. We've known him for a little bit of time.
I've known him since Be the Change for me meant change the diapers.
Yes.
That's how long I've known that guy.
I've known him since we didn't have beards.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is, with change and with these teams coming out here, that comes on the backs of coaches like Coach Hanna, and not just Coach Hanna. Go ahead and pan over. It's all of these guys right here. This Falcon coaching staff that you're going to be looking at right here on the show. These guys right here. This is the reason why this team is so successful. Take a look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Put a hand together for these guys getting it done. Week in, week out, there is no shortage of leadership out here in Jefferson. These guys have gotten it done from the gate, and it really shows. Congratulations to these guys. It's been can't stop. Yeah, that's all right. They do. They know who they are. They know who they are. But he talked about being the change and the great leadership that this Jefferson team has. From the top. But let's talk to some of the guys. We're going to bring up and welcome to the next onto the show, the man, the myth, number 4, Grant Hitchcock, folks.
Welcome on, buddy.
Listen, you're a veteran on this show. I'll tell you what, he's had a presence on this show since this show started. That's for sure.
How we doing today?
Good, man. Listen, we got our guy on the show. Grant, it's been a really good season for you guys. Some changes, ups and downs, injuries where you had to change positions this year at one point and play some wide receiver. Just kind of give me an overview of this senior year so far.
It's definitely been a roller coaster of emotions. Starting, like Coach said, December 1st, grinding all the way through winter, spring, and then really up into right in the start of our season. It's just been like, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way of the way it's going right now. Just a fun playoff run, something we've never experienced before. So it's been great so far.
Yeah, and you know what? It has been great. You've been great this year. Getting over 1,000 on the ground, getting it done in the air. When that injury happens for you and you got to play receiver for that game, what's going through your head? Because a lot of kids, I'm going to be honest with you, aren't lining up out there as receiver after they get that injury.
I kind of took that as like an opportunity to show like another part of my game that most people probably would expect me not to have just because I'm a quarterback. So it was actually, I kind of enjoyed it for that game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you certainly did. I think he ended up that game with 8 receptions and
130 or something like that, wasn't it?
160 yards receiving. So, there's a jack of all trades. They're going to have to start calling it a grand of all trades because this man, there's nothing he can't do. What are you looking to get done? What are some of the things you're trying to make sure you do that way you guys are playing in week 14?
Definitely just control the pace of the game as quarterback. That's a big part. And more so on the defense. We've been focusing a lot on defense this week. They're a pass-heavy team, so we've been communicating a lot on defense. So that's like one thing I'm going to try to step up with this week.
Yeah, you know what? You talked about defense there, and one of the things, I love offense, and I like to give you the credit for being the offense. Honest to God, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen take a snap in this county, and that's not just saying that because you're here. But defensively, you like to take the ball away there too.
Yeah, defense is definitely fun. I started playing defense, actually. Freshman year, I didn't play any offense. I played defense first, so that's kind of like where I first started to like football was on defense. So like that's like my first love, if you would say, for the game was on defense.
Do you think that defensive love helps you as a quarterback because you're kind of anticipating what those guys are doing?
Yeah, you learn more of like what a DB thinks when you're playing quarterback or when you're at DB for a quarterback. But,
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, you got it. That's exactly it. You get, so they call them tendencies. You know, you're thinking about those tendencies. And you know, speaking of tendencies, you've taken the game a lot more at a lot deeper this year. You know, you're making you're running your quarterback option is unbelievable. So is that something that you work directly with Coach Hannah? Is that something you took upon yourself? How did that option read get so dangerous?
Some of our plays like aren't even supposed to be like an option. It's just like if it's open right there, I'll just pull it. So there's only like a couple plays where we specifically don't block a dude. But if I see something, I have the green light.
Okay, so there you go. That's what it comes
trust.
down to. Yeah,
trust.
Listen, there's guys right now playing on Sunday that want that trust. You know what I mean? Grant's getting it over here on Friday nights. You know, I guess the biggest question, the toss I'm going to give you at this point, you know, this year is still evolving. But so far, your time as a Falcon, what's the one thing you can put a stamp on? This is yours. You're going to be talking about it for years to come.
Definitely the playoffs. No one in our school has done this. So, like, it's just like a privilege, I feel like, for us to be the first team to make it this far. That's definitely something I'm going to talk about for years to come.
I'll tell you what, Grant, it's not only a privilege for you guys, it's a privilege for us.
Yeah.
You know, getting to see guys like you go out there, get the job done week in, week out. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about this team is we're not just talking about bronze, we're talking about brains. Because I believe that you are one of the top students in this class when it comes to grades, right?
Yeah, I think so. I actually texted one of the cheerleaders last night because I had to fill out a form, and her mom's a guidance counselor, and I need to know what rank I was in the class, and she said first. I was like, I'm not first in the class.
First in the class?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
that's right. But like,
first in the class. That's what we need to be talking about. Give him a hand for that.
I still don't think that's right. That's what the guidance counselor said.
Hey, take the wins when you get them, buddy.
Listen, first in the class, first on the field. Grant, good luck this weekend, and thanks for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Hitchcock.
Buddy. Yeah.
And, you know, that's one of the things he talks about. He talks about he's first in the class, and I actually knew that because his coach, Coach Hannah, monitors the grades on these guys very, very tightly because these are student athletes, and student comes before the athletes. And I think that's one of the things that you can be most proud of out here as a Jefferson Falcon.
How could you not? I mean, you know, week 13 here, or week 14, whatever.
We're getting ready for week 13.
We have week 13, and you know, you're still talking about grades and the athletes and what they're doing, you know, not just on the football field, but also in the classroom. And that's what ultimately matters most than anything, you know.
Yeah, because you know what? You can be the best athlete in the world, but if the grades take you off the field, then it ain't no good. You got to be D1 in the classroom, D1 on the field, and that's the only way you're going to be D anything.
Yeah, no D's on the report card.
Then no D's on the report card. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, we just had a Grant Hitchcock come on the show. We're going to bring up another gentleman that's been on the show with us before, and that is one of the best receivers in the county. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Trent Hodge.
I like it. We're knocking them down. 1, 2, 3. Like I'm getting to meet everybody again. What's up, buddy?
Good. So we welcome to the show, Trent Hodge. First of all, Trent, how you doing this year?
Great. I'm having a good time. I mean, 9-3. I couldn't ask for a much better season. You know, as my senior year to go out on. I mean, couldn't be much happier.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You look like you're having a good time out there. Able to get like 54 nabs in the air and over 700 yards, or no, I'm sorry, over 600 yards in the air. Really getting it done. But you know, you've taken a pretty big interest in defense this year as well. You know, I know that you're as sure-handed as they come. Sometimes I wonder if you don't have sticky tack on those hands, because I'm telling you guys, this is some of the best hands I've ever seen on a wide receiver. But let's talk about the defensive side of the ball, because you've really taken that and taken it personally.
Yeah, I enjoy defense. I mean, just like Grant, that's where I started out my freshman year, playing safety. And I played linebacker this year, and I enjoy getting my nose in there, you know, even though I'm like 160, it just like, there's something to me that's just boring about coverage. I mean, I don't know, but, yeah, I mean, I just enjoy it more. And I don't get breaks on defense. Like, usually when I get my breaks, it's on offense, because, I mean, that's when I have a time to have a sub or whatever. But yeah, defense just kind of been my thing this year, I guess.
Yeah, and let's, we talk about that movement as well. So you start your career off on the defensive back side, and you go over into the linebacking core, and I'm sure that took a lot of work on the to the coaches, because you're a very talented defensive back, but you're able to get your nose in there, make the tackles, and make the big play. Not to mention, I don't know that these coaches want their top receiver out there getting his head knocked in.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's I don't really get my head knocked in, because I have, like, my D linemen do a great job on taking on double teams. And usually if Wade's not making the play, then I'll be there, because I mean, either Wade's getting blocked and I'm open, or I'm getting blocked and Wade's open. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been the case all year. Talk a little bit about, as a receiver. Now, you did play defensive back, but you moved down into that linebacker spot. This year as a receiver, did it kind of open up your mind and your vision to where these linebackers are going to be in there and help you run your routes a little bit crisper? I don't even know if they could be, because those routes you run could cut people in half.
Yeah, most definitely. I understand the hook curl and the flats a little bit better from playing it. You know what I mean? Especially, it's easier to read coverages based off of where they line up and how they play me. So yeah, it's definitely helped.
Yeah. Now, what is the biggest change for you coming into this year as a senior? Because you've been a part of this program, and not somebody who's watching on the field, but somebody who's played and been active. What changed for you as you come into your senior year, leadership-wise, or anything with the program?
I'd have to say definitely just being in the backfield a little more. I've been able to get more carries at running back, which, I mean, props to my O-line. 160 at running back usually doesn't happen. So they're able to create lanes, and I'm able to just run off their box. So, I mean, yeah.
You like offense or defense better? Don't look that way. Don't look that way.
I'd have to say offense.
All right. Fair assessment. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense, because you go out there and as a wide receiver, you guys rushed a lot more than this year than in the past. And one of the things that I've noticed with you is your run blocking is tenacious. So, I don't know if they give pancake awards to wide receivers. I don't know if you're trying to compete with old number 75 back there, but that smile I see right now, I've seen on the after you put some of these defensive backs on their butt. Where did all that tenacity come from?
I take pride in helping out my guys. It's like, I love being able to show up on Saturday mornings and pull up a video on my phone of me just putting somebody on the ground for, like, Cage or Luke or Grant. I don't know. There's something about that that's almost better than scoring a touchdown or something, just helping out your guys.
It's a friendly reminder that they didn't do it themselves. That's what it is.
Spoken like a true lineman right there, folks. You guys have definitely taken the idea of the shared touchdown to heart. And, I see some genuine, love between you guys when you're scoring. Everybody's very, very happy. What's the thing you're going to focus on as we're heading into Saturday? What's Trent Hodge got to do to help these Falcons make sure they're playing next week?
I'd have to say most definitely just covering, making sure they can't throw on us so that our D-line and linebackers can get to the quarterback. Also, I got to show up on offense a little bit more this week. I was a little hidden last week, but yeah, I'll be there this week. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen, that's what it is. Listen, he's always on time. When you need him, that's when he's going to be there. Yeah. Trent, well, thank you for coming back on the show, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
Congratulations, buddy. It's always fun to, talk to a young man that can he can understand what it is, when blocking, or getting downfield to help his team, and realize, that, and that's the special part. I promise you, there's no team in Ashtabula County, no team in the state of Ohio, if they have not figured out how to play as a team, they're not going this far.
No,
will
absolutely
not go
not.
this far.
I mean, he talks about the numbers, strictly from the numbers that they're talking about. Jefferson is, people aren't sure where this place is at. And when this team comes off the bus, they're like, that's the team that did that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But these guys go out there and they've been able to get it done. And it's really a team concept and they've embraced it. And I think this is something that a lot of places, not just in Ohio, but around the world, really, if you want to look at what happens when you guys embrace each other as the team, embrace the goal, this is the type of things you can get accomplished. It's been nothing short of amazing watching these guys play.
Yeah, especially when, you look at last year. I know this is a different class, last year to this year. I'm not going to call it night and day because we talked about it a lot last year with Coach Hanna and the assistants, but he's done a great job at, having these kids really, and I said it from last year, they want to run through a brick wall for them.
Yeah.
And that kind of attitude, that kind of mantra is why they're going into week 13.
Yeah. You know what, Ryan, you talk about running through a brick wall, and I think that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
There's not only, but definitely if I'm picking somebody who could actually run through a brick wall is going to be our next guy we're going to have on the show for the first time. We're going to talk about this bad mamma jamma, Brian Bosworth reincarnated, folks. Wade Woodworth coming to join us on the show.
Congratulations.
All right. First of all, Wade, welcome to the show. It's been a long time coming. I feel like we're late. We should have had you on a long time ago. So, you come into this year, and I'm not sure if you're paying attention to the numbers or not that we push out there, but you are Ashtabula's top tackler coming into this year. You got into the backfield, tackles for loss 22, which is ridiculous. Some people don't get 22 in their career. What changed for you this year? Because you've always been nasty. This year, you are tenacious.
It started with the off season, obviously getting in the weight room, lifting at 6 a.m. with the fellas, Coach Hanna.
Yeah.
And then a lot of it comes from watching film with Coach Hanna. Like, we took that serious. Like, just this past week, I was in Coach Hanna's room 2 days for 2 hours watching film, drawing on the board, getting the defense lined up. And then Indy defense with Coach Ray. He's a great linebacker coach, and he just got me right. So,
yeah, and you know what? But you're naming some guys that really can help you along. And, for the previous two guys, I talked about defense. With you, there's no question with defense. You're a defensive guy, all right? You're able to get it done. I think everybody's known that this guy can get it done when he's on the defensive side of the ball. One of the things I noticed from you, though, this year is the offensive side of the ball. You've been able to make some plays. You've been, I guess we'll call it the fullback role kind of out here, but you're definitely not slow. Talk about taking a bigger portion of offense this year for the Falcons.
Oh, it's been good, actually. I mean, I just get to help Trent, Grant, Cage, Scott there. If I can take away a safety, help Grant throw the ball to Trent, help Grant throw the ball to Cage, it's good. And then I really like when they line me up in the box, get me back there at H-back, and I go help block for Luke, watch him spring long run, help Grant spring long run. It's really fun, actually, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, I can tell you enjoy it because, you're serious and you're all about business when you're on the field. But there's been a couple of times where I've seen a smile crack out of Wade Woodworth, and it's usually when the other team is trying to figure out if he's still got his helmet on.
Yeah, good. I mean, it just feels good when you hit somebody and they're like, where am I?
Talk a little bit about, did you work on your footwork? Did you work on your speed? Because, you talk a lot, you instantly go to blocking, but we've seen you with the ball in your hand and able to make a difference for the Falcons this year too.
Yeah. So, sophomore year, I focused a lot on like strength training and like bodybuilding. And then I got with Coach Hanna. He got me ready. He was like, we got to put an end to this. So we started to train more like an athlete. Not just me, but the entire group, everyone back there. Like, remember we'd be out there, the track would be covered in snow, and we'd just be out there running 400s, pushing the sleds, hitting the ladders. So that's where it really started.
Yeah, and you're another example of somebody who is sitting real close to the top of the class. Talk about how important it is for you to get it done in the classroom as well as off.
So that's like a thing that we preach in our program is, you just can't be an athlete. You got to be a student athlete. Student becomes for athlete. And so you just can't show up to practice. You got to show up in the classroom too. So it's equally as important, if not more important. So
Ryan, ask him the question. Although I think I know the answer.
What's that?
What's his favorite?
Oh, what's your favorite, offense or defense?
You know, it's actually a really tough one, actually.
Come on. Come on.
I'd have to say defense, though.
I mean, by chance, it would be that. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Defense, Mr. 122 total tackles. I hope that defense is your favorite. I'll tell you what, I know that those Canton South guys are double circling you on defense. They're saying, keep number 3 off of me because Wade Woodworth is a bad man. Wade, thanks so much and good luck on Saturday, my friend.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, these guys, it's been so fun watching, guys. You know, he's another one that we've watched developed as he said, his body's changed, his game style has changed as well.
Yep.
This is another one of the guys who started on the line and moves from the line into a skill position, has to change the way he's playing, the way he's training, and believed in himself. The coaches believed in him. He goes out there and is one of Ashtabula County's top defenders this year.
Yeah, Coach Hanna has a knack for identifying little things like that.
He's got the eye.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, but again, you know, fun to talk about the kids when they, you know, talk about how important it is to be a student too. So, yeah, it's always fun to watch and listen on a week-to-week basis. I mean, the amount of tackles that young man had coming through the county, just an amazing athlete to come up through here. And another reason, you know, and again, I don't want to preach on it too much, but he talked about the teamwork. He talked about setting people free. He talked about helping out. He talked about helping the next guy. That's what they preach about out here in Jefferson. And that's why, again, they're still playing football. I'm not saying the other teams that made it to the playoff didn't preach that, but
no, they're getting
it's
it done.
special out here.
Yeah,
it is special out here.
And you know, we saw from the very beginning of the year as we started to travel around and go, you know, scrimmage to scrimmage, and you know, we watched these guys go against Perry, and you know, Wade was laying hits that I thought they were going to sound the alarm because they thought it was a nuclear bomb. I mean, dude was out there absolutely smoking cats.
And, I mean. Let's not get it twisted either. They were clean hits too.
Oh,
it wasn't like I'm not saying that a hit that was dirty, but it was fundamental football that was played right. When he's hitting people, it's safe for him, safe for the next guy. But he's letting them know, like, don't come. You want the smoke? Take the smoke.
Yeah. Listen, 122 tackles.
Yeah.
122 total tackles, and you guys know the formula that we do. And the reason why that's happened is because you can't escape a good tackle.
No, you can't.
You know what I mean? You know, there's a lot of credit. If arm tackles counted, a lot of guys would be in the Hall of Fame. Ain't no arm tackles happening out here.
No.
You know, we were talking to Wade. We talked to Trent. We talk to Grant. We talk about, we'll call them the key lights, right? Let's bring on a guy next that is playing a position that you'll say every week, week in, week out, gets no love. But we're going to bring in our first autograph picture.
Wait, hold on, let me zoom
first
in
of
on
all,
this. Hold on.
First autograph picture right here on the show. That's right, lady.
Let's get this right and tight. Hold on, we got to get that. That's as far as we can go.
That's right,
That
baby.
is right and tight. Listen, when he makes it to the pros, you know who's got it.
That's
Don't come
it.
looking for me. I ain't giving that picture up.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show number 75, Mr. Pancake, Mason Polaski. How you doing?
Oh man, you know I'm doing well. Quite well.
No.
So first of all, Mason, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. You know, you're another one of the senior leaders on this team that took leadership for real. Talk a little bit about the lead up this year. You really took the lineman portion and ran with it.
You know, I would really I think I contribute that to all 4 years I've been playing since I was a freshman. I started out as a center, and, you know, like being able to have that confidence leading into my senior year of playing varsity, like, you know, all 4 years, this is really a strong way of me to like bring that to my guys who haven't really played as many years as I've played. And it's just like, you know, I've done it, fellas. I was 195 pounds as a freshman center, and I was still making some pancakes, you know, and it's like, we all big up front, you know, we got this, fellas. We can do something. We can do something.
Yeah, and you know what? You talk about the size, and I think that's a great thing to bring up is now you've gained size, and not just the wrong way. You know, you've put time in the weight room, and you gain not only size, but strength and agility. But, you know, how did you do that? How important is that for guys to realize that, you know, nobody gets better at Burger King?
No, absolutely not. No, it wasn't Burger King. It was nothing. It was working hard off season. And then it was coming home and it was having that 1,000-calorie protein shake every night. And it was like, I'm going to do something because I want to be something. And I want to help my team win. I got to change this program around. And that's what it was right there.
So, you know, in the off season, we talk about off season work and you talk about the nutrition, you talk about, you know, the work you're doing, but some of the other things you did was travel around.
Yep.
And go out there. Let's talk a little bit about that off-season travel because Mason Polaski left a lasting a lasting role in a lot of these places.
Yeah, it was. You know, for me, I've always wanted to play college football, and it was, you know, it was like I had to go to camps. It was like, you know, you had to make your name. You had to make yourself known. So it was like I'm gonna go to camps, and it was like, well, being at camps, you gotta compete. And I was like, I'm going to be the number one competitor. So I was like, I'm going to be first in line for everything. And then every time I can get a rep, I'm stealing a rep. And it was every time I'm out there, it's 100%, 110%, 120, no matter what. It was everything I got, no matter what. And so going out competing also gave me that confidence, knowing going into the season that it's not just the NEA I'm competing against. It's these dudes from all over the state. I went up against a guy who, at this next gen camp at the Spire, this dude came down from Ontario, Canada, and now he's committed to Buffalo. And it was just facing these different guys and just going and competing against them. And I stopped him, by the way.
Hey, I ain't mad at him. We all got a story as an old lineman. You know?
So, you know, as an offensive lineman, you know, we always talk about there's not a whole lot of shine. There's not a whole, but you know what? You go out there with the love for the game. And the, you know, they're that I don't really see as much. You know, how did you get that? How do you keep that, even though maybe you're not in the first name in the paper? How do you keep that love for the game as you're on the line?
Wow, actually, yeah, that's a great question. I think it was, you know, starting out, I would say 2011 was my first year playing. However many years ago that was, 10,
22,
12,
yeah,
11
years
ago. So I just been playing for that long, and it was this, you know, the love for football. It's not just the game; it's what the game has given to me. It was my brothers. It was these guys I've been playing with for 11 years now, right? And it was, you know, that's the love right there. It's not just football. It's football because of what football has given to me that I love it so much. And as a lineman, it's like, you know, as a lineman, nothing beats seeing Grant run in that end zone, seeing Trent run in that end zone, seeing Cage, seeing Luke Funtash, you know, seeing those guys run in the end zone, that's the best feeling ever. And then when I get a goal, run in that end zone and pick them right up.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling right there. That really is.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah. No, it's always that's one of my favorite memories, to be honest with you. I just, you know, I'm imagining it as you're talking, but as an offense, what is, I don't know how often you pull. Do you pull? Do you enjoy pulling?
Yes, I love
Yes, that's I loved it too, you know, but what best memory so far this year?
Wow. Okay, I got two. So my first one is on my first highlight clip. Is against Edgewood when we were on the goal line, and I came on the pole, and I just really laid this dude out. And if you see it on my film, you'll see it. And you know, usually you go to the ground, but I kind of stood him up, and he fell right down. And you know, I got the momentum, so I just walked right over top of him. You know, I can't beat that one. And then just this past week at Girard, I was at an H-back set, and I came around full speed, and you know, dude was in my way, and I took him, boom, out of bounds. I took him right down to his back, right flat on top of him. Hear a soul leave his body there. You know?
Soul leave his body. Oh my!
Listen, you know, I don't. Ryan asked the better lineman questions. I got just a regular old standard one. Which one do you like doing better, pass blocking or run blocking?
Oh man, you know, definitely run blocking. It's 100%. It's 100%.
It's part of the pulling world, right there.
Yeah, you know,
there's not very many instances where the coach says, "I want an offensive lineman to run downfield as fast as you can to hit somebody." At the pass blocking, you know, take a step back, make sure your quarterback's protected. You know.
Yeah, I mean, pass block's nice. You know, you gotta catch your breath a little bit, sitting back in your pass set, but just forcibly moving a guy downfield and then giving a lane for my running back, my quarterback to run through. That's where it's at.
Yeah, checking second level. Maybe hey, once in a while you make it to the third level.
Yeah.
And, hey, and bad news bears for somebody.
You know what, Mason? You've been a top-notch athlete, a top-notch leader, a top-notch Falcon all year. You guys are heading into one of the toughest game, if not the toughest game of the year, coming in this week. What does Mason have to do to help the Falcons play next week?
It's motivating my guys, keeping their head in the game, and then staying low and driving. It's staying low on both sides of the ball. Offense staying low, driving guys out of the way. Defensive line staying low and shooting through gaps. That's what I got to do. I'm doing my part. I'm motivating my guys, and we can all do our part together as one family. That's how it is.
Listen, it can't get any better than that, man.
Speech, I'm almost in tears.
Yeah. Listen, it makes sense. And I'll tell you what, it's guys like this that are going to help add another stripe and another spot to this spot on the wall here in Jefferson.
Get to see the ceiling, too.
That's right.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is. You look at football 1974, 77, 85, 99, 2002, 2003, 2005, and get ready as they're opening up a new spot for 22. We just don't know what color it is, and they're trying to get it to that gold. That's what we're going for. We're going to go to a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we are going to have an extra special spot on the show with some Falcons cheerleaders, as well as a feathered friend joining us soon.
Yes, thanks again, Mason. I appreciate it, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll see you guys here in a couple minutes.
440 and Gold welcomes in Play All Awards and Engraving. Awards, they do them all at Play All. Play All offers a full line of acrylics, desk accessories, plaques, sports awards, and more. A staple of Ashtabula County, Play All has been in service since 1993. Helping the likes of educators, coaches, and individuals just like you. You can visit Play All at 4542 Main Avenue in beautiful downtown Ashtabula, Ohio, or call them at 440-992-7529 with any questions.
440 and Goal welcomes in-combine sponsor from Allstate Kristen Dobbins-Beck-Barger. Kristen and her team offer auto, home, renters, and various other insurance policies. Visit Kristen at 4605 Main Avenue in beautiful Ashtabula, Ohio, or contact Kristen at 440-993-0256.
All right, welcome back, guys. We do have a special shout out with the cheerleaders here. Let me get it zoomed in and put together. I'm going to get my head out of the way, and we're going to check them out. So I do believe we got it. All right, ladies, go ahead.
You always step back, get out of our way. We are the Falcons. You always step back, get out of our way. We are the Falcons. You always step back. Get out of our way. We are the Falcons. You always. Go Falcons!
Get my headset back on.
We're not at the point yet where it's a nice, smooth transition to everything. 12 cameras, all that. Maybe one day I have to talk to DJ about that. But all right. What an amazing evening. I don't know what time it is, but what an amazing evening. This, getting to interview a team that is, I don't think no one in Ashtabula County has ever went this far, correct?
No, I'll tell you what, nobody has gone this far in our lifetime.
Right.
There might be some guys that went that far before they started recording games, but this is a team and the obviously the the journey is not done yet. There are some teams that are just going to be happy to be there, and that shows out. This is a team that they're not just happy to be there. They're ready to get on to the next one.
Yep.
They're not overlooking their opponents. These are guys that we've saw, and as we covered and we did our previews and stuff during the before the year started, we saw an intensity here that was really unrivaled. These guys were locked in, they were zoned in, ready to win and ready to get the job done to win before the year even started.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories so far this year is, I went up to Coach Hanna and I told him I can't wait to see what your boys do, by the end of this year, where everyone, where it all ends, you know what I mean? And it's so fun, so exciting to go into week 13 and know that there's a team in Ashtabula County still playing football, still fighting for a championship here.
Yeah, and it couldn't come at any better time. As these guys are. We talked about the farewell tour in the NE8 conference, which is arguably the best conference in Ohio. I know it's one of the most competitive for sure. And Jefferson been on the wrong side of that for years in past. And this is one of the hardest things to shake is when you are the battering, you're the nail, not the hammer.
Yeah.
And Jefferson fully embraced, they are no longer going to be the nail. They are going to be the hammer. And the only way that change can happen is through doing hard work in the off season. And it showed since the beginning of the year. For those of you, I'll tell you again, if you want to watch this game, head down to Raider Stadium in Canfield, Ohio. We're going to be it's an absolutely gorgeous place to play football.
Yeah, it is.
South Range is going to be hosting. We will be there, yours truly, on behalf of YSN covering this game. It's going to be a classic. Not that anything they play isn't, because I'll tell you what, the Jefferson Falcons definitely make it entertaining and has been entertaining all year long. If you can't make the game, make sure you go to www.ysnlive.com and get your playoff pass. That means you're going to be able to watch the Jefferson Falcons take on the Canton South Wildcats. You're going to get to watch South Range take on Mooney.
Yep.
You're going to get to
Big
watch
games.
Canfield play.
Yeah.
I mean, all the best games in this area are going to be right here for the very, very best.
Yep.
But before we get anywhere, before we get out of here, we want to wish the Falcons the best in luck as they get ready to go on Saturday. And there's only one way to send off this team.
We're about to find out what they're about to do.
Hey! Embrace it. Be the change. Come on up here, mascot.
Having some fun over there.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, for 440 and goal, I am Sam Torres.
And I'm Ryan Cole. You can see they're having a great time. Hey, can we get a breakdown? Let's get a breakdown, and we'll break down. Hey, I'm Ryan, my partner Sam, the voice of 440 and goal. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Go Falcons, get it done this Saturday. Be a champ, do your thing. You've been doing it all year. Enjoy the rest of your guys' evening.